Elizabeth Cambage exchanged words. Tempers flared on the court. Tweets were fired post-game. There were 50 fouls called. It was a very physical game. And needless to say, Pam, there's a lot of bad blood between these two teams coming off of this altercation. And Chicago was looking forward to a rematch.
Cheyenne Parker said they're one of our least favorite teams to play. We can't stand the fact they get some of the calls they get. It makes us hungry to go out and beat their, shall we say, aces.
Yes.
Which is what they're trying to do, the single elimination game. Las Vegas winners of 21 games during the regular season, but lost 4 of 6 down the stretch. Wilson with the miss, and Stephanie Dolson comes up with the rebound. The ball in her hands. Courtney Vandersloot, what a magnificent season, averaging over 9 assists per game.
And Tamara Young, her old teammate, has the defensive assignment. Teams will sometimes try to put length on Courtney Vandersloot to take away her vision.
Sloot with 300 assists on the nose during the regular season, the most in the history of this league. And they don't get a shot off. We are playing at the Thomas and Mack Center. This is a campus in UNLV. Their building at Mandalay Bay is occupied, but a lot of folks have shown up and they're loud.
Great crowd. And Bill Lambier wrote a letter, penned a letter to the fans asking them to show up for this game. And even James Wade was like, hey, we don't want WNBA teams to get displaced. They were looking forward to the crowd and the way they packed Mandalay Bay this year, but what a showing at Thomas and Mack.
Wilson triple teamed and a call right away. I think they're going to get Dolson for the reach-in. And it is indeed on Dolson. A'ja Wilson has done a very good job of getting to the free throw line, where she hits on average 79%.
And one thing that cannot happen for the Chicago Sky is their front court can't get in foul trouble. I mean, Stephanie Dolson has to stay on the floor. She's #1 in the WNBA in fouls, but against this front court, they need her leadership. They need her physical presence.
Wilson gets them both. In fact, Vegas as a team gets to the line on average more than any other team in the WNBA, over 21 times per game on average in the regular season. Diamond DeShields, 25 points in her playoff debut, but she aired it. Expect some pace in this game. Jackie Young with the miss, and so much noise going on that we couldn't hear the whistle.
And the pace for Vegas starts with how well they rebound defensively. Tamara Young and Jackie Young both have length, 6 foot and 6'2". So they don't have a true point guard on the floor, but when those two players get out and push, it is hard to catch up defensively. Transition will be important.
2 trips down and 2 trips to the line. Jackie Young, the #1 overall pick, 3rd straight overall pick in the draft for this franchise. A'ja Wilson last year and Kelsey Plum when they were still in San Diego a couple of years ago. Young goes 1 out of 2 on that trip. DeShields underneath, and Dew was left all alone.
And that's pace on the other side. James Wade believes in his offensive system that the ball has to move quickly throughout the game, both in the full court and the half court.
James Wade, the WNBA Coach of the Year, has been a longtime assistant at Minnesota. Cambage wants a foul, and Chicago has fouled every time.
Jackie Young penetrating here, and nice pass to Liz Cambage. And we talked to Bill Lambier about Jackie Young in particular and what she's done well this year in her rookie season as the #1 pick. And it's post-entry passing. Might seem like a small thing, but when you have 2 dominant posts on your team, like Cambage and Wilson, you have to get them involved offensively, which means you got to get them the ball.
Cambage goes 1 out of 2. She was fouled by Dew, who picked up her first. Chicago still looking to get on the board first after they broke the century mark in a win against Phoenix in the first round.
See the denial defensively on the wings. Vegas not allowing Quigley and Vandersloot to catch the ball.
Smart strategy. DeShields left it short. Cambage driving on Dolson. And now Wilson in a lot of traffic. What an effort, but A'ja could not get either shot to fall. Physical underneath so far. Quigley got it knocked away by Jackie Young. Now Cambage brings it up, albeit briefly. Kayla McBride was on the last San Antonio team to get to the playoffs back in 2014.
You see the defense is really sagging off both Tamara Young and Jackie Young in order to help in on the post. Those two players will have to stay active offensively to keep the defense honest.
Jackie and Tamara, no relation, by the way, combined for only about 11 points per game. Jackie has picked up her first personal foul. And now Allie Quigley heads to the free throw line. Their leading scorer this year at just under 14 points per game during the regular season. Great story in resiliency. She was on 4 teams in 4 years and has cemented herself as one of the mainstays in the league.
Yeah, as an all-star. What a journey and what a great story. You mentioned hard work.
From near the Chicago area, that's where she grew up, and now playing for her hometown team. Chicago gets it on the turnover. Quigley in her 7th year in Chicago, 11th year in the league, went to DePaul where she played for Doug Bruno. Vandersloot passes out of the double. Dolson makes sure it was a 3, and she nailed it.
And that's where Courtney Vandersloot is so good, because on screen she can drag 2 defenders with her and she'll find the open man.
So Chicago, after a slow start, scoring the last 7 points, and Cambage lost it out of bounds.
Courtney Vandersloot just knows how to deliver the ball. She drags Cambage because Young gets beat, and Stephanie Dolson knocks down the shot wide open.
Courtney Vandersloot in 2 of the 3 games as Dolson finishes had a 12-assist game and then a 13-assist game against Vegas. That's the 2 highest by any opponents this year. It's a 9-1 Chicago run. McBride ends it in style. Kayla McBride with a career high in scoring this year. Quigley doesn't need much time. Jackie Young chases it down. McBride, 2 in a row. Just a little bit too strong. And you see the pace. Chicago with a track meet. Nice pass inside to Do. Vandersloot with the scream after the bucket gets in, and they get a foul call.
Astun Du is made for this system. She's thin, wiry, and fast down the court. And if you get there and you get open, you ask for it, Courtney Vandersloot will find you.
Vandersloot by far had the most assists in the league this year, breaking her own record both in terms of totals and average. 2 fouls on Jackie Young. So she goes out in favor of Kelsey Plum, who has the ball in her hands. Plum, who started 30 games and has been coming off the bench towards the latter part of the season. McBride, Dolson stepped away.
Bill Lambier trying to find some outside scoring because Chicago has been able to crowd the paint.
And Bill Lambier is incensed that a foul was not called.
Cambage gathers the ball, and I really did not see a foul there by Dolson. She was straight up.
Quigley with the one-handed floater. Tamara Young gets it. Pop and drop on the other end.
And Young's got to be aggressive in those situations, because what's happening is Chicago is sagging off of everyone else, and the crowding in the paint is forcing their bigs to turn it over, and they've been ineffective.
Well, Chicago with a 12-8 lead. When we come back, in her 2nd year with Chicago, Diamond DeShields has taken a great leap forward. What a great athlete. That's actually Richard Williams, who was one of her tennis coaches when she was growing up. Like her mom, an outstanding track athlete as well. Her dad, Delino, was in the major leagues. She said she loves softball. There's Delino, and her brother, Delino Jr., is in Major League Baseball. What a pedigree. And here she is now with Kim Adams.
Diamond, coming off of a 25-point performance in your first playoff game, how does that give you confidence heading into tonight?
Just want to keep playing to my strengths, running the floor, playing fast. You know, whatever happens, what that happens, but I'm going to keep doing me.
And we've seen your team get out in the open floor early here. How important is that to what your team is trying to do tonight?
Well, it's super important. It's one of the key characteristics of our team. So as long as we're doing that, we know we're playing to our strengths, so we're going to keep doing that.
Thanks so much for the time.
Diamond DeShields is an elite athlete, and that is something you cannot teach. And she told us the biggest jump she made from last season to this season is she learned that she plays well in space. She doesn't have to have the ball in her hands to contribute to her team, and she's had success beating her opponents up and down the floor and just using that athleticism that she's had since she was a very young girl to gain an advantage.
And she says that she has never, to her knowledge, ever lost a foot race with anybody. She was always the fastest kid out there. Nice finish for Quigley.
Yeah, I mean, she said she never finished last. She was always picked first by the boys in football, and she did tennis and swimming and everything you could think of. Just an outstanding athlete.
She won the Wnba skills competition this year at the All-Star game right here in Las Vegas. But Diamond has yet to hit a field goal, just the 2 free throws. James Wade behind Diamond, the coach of the year, head coach and general manager of this franchise. And he has done a tremendous job to get this team back to the playoffs for the first time since 2016 when Elena Deladon still played with them.
It's about buy-in. I mean, the offensive system is working, but also nice shot by Stephanie Dolson, but their defense has gotten better. And what you see Allie Quigley just did is her, again, using screens, drawing the extra defender. That's what Chicago's offense is rooted in.
Erica Hamby named the 6th player of the year right before the game. Gives it up to Tamara Young, who scores. Wilson got in front of Parker to force the turnover, and then Quigley got a hand in to stop what could have been a fast break. Don't miss your chance to catch your favorite players, teams, and the continued WNBA playoffs action in person. Get your tickets today at WNBA.com/tickets. Those of you in Connecticut, Washington, and Los Angeles, for sure, go get your tickets now.
Yeah, what an exciting time. And how about LA? I mean, Seattle put up a fight. You got to congratulate Dan Hughes and that entire organization for what they did and the way they played. But Chelsea Gray is a player you do not want to see at this time of year.
Such a great year for Seattle without both Sue Bird and Brianna Stewart out for the entire season. But Los Angeles going to go into Connecticut. That'll be the first game of our doubleheader coming your way on Tuesday night, and the winner of this game will be in Washington in the nightcap.
I'm looking forward to a little Jasmine Thomas defense on Chelsea Gray. I mean, you got to have multiple players on Gray, both size and speed. See what Connecticut's defense can do with her.
Yeah, Jasmine Thomas in the studio for us this afternoon, joining Katie Douglas. That's cool, have an active player in there.
A couple Duke point guards we're talking about, you know. Good times for the Blue Devils right now.
They did all right. The Shields on target. That is a 3-pointer for Diamond.
And that's really when Diamond is at her best, when she's knocking down that outside shot. She is quick off of the bounce, but the combination of the two make her hard to defend.
The veteran Carolyn Swords coming in. Seen her playing time diminish a bit this year. Parker with the turnaround over Swords. Cheyenne's first basket. He also was quite a weapon coming off the bench this season for Chicago. Nine-point lead. Plum, the lefty.
A couple nice moves to the rim for Kelsey Plum.
Kelsey Plum was the first player that we saw out here warming up for the Aces, working hard on her game, becoming more of a defensive force this year after scoring the most points in the history of women's college basketball.
Now coming off of the bench, as Bill Laimbeer wanted to shift both the energy by inserting Tamara Young, but also said wanted some shots to come off the pile.
Wnba gets fouled after some hard work underneath. Eric Bruton, Tierra Cruz, and Jeff Wooten are officials this afternoon. That is a second on a Stu Du, and that there's not a lot of depth there. Jantel Lavender, excuse me, went down, actually broke her foot in a game against Las Vegas. So Du has been in the starting lineup ever since. So Chicago's front court got to be careful with fouling. And Dearica Hamby, congratulations.
Sixth Woman of the Year, and this is probably the award that we kind of knew early on in the season just because of how effective Hamby was coming off of the bench, both scoring, rebounding. But more than anything, it's her relentlessness. It's her energy. She's willing to do the little things, the dirty work, and deserve that award.
Work like getting a rebound.
And beating you down the floor.
Yep. She plays hard all the time. Nice pass by Tamara Young, and Hamby can't hit it. Parker blocked Swords. Leah Copper, beautiful pass over to Dolson.
Copper is slippery. She can find creases in the defense. Another outstanding athlete.
Both Copper and Dolson coming over to Chicago and in the Elena Deladon trade with Washington. Epiphany Prince with the jumper. Prince playing the last 3 games with this team after being signed by Bill Laimbeer, for whom she played 3 years in New York. Copper has made a difference quickly with an assist and now a bucket. And look at a 10-point advantage for Chicago on the road. Too much on that. DeShield shows her vertical. 3-on-3, Diamond. Fouled by Hamby. And the fans here are a little restless and disgusted with the call.
Well, Diamond is shifty enough that she was able to avoid direct contact with Hamby, and that's why that foul wasn't called, because Hamby was no longer squared in front of DeShields, and she made a nice move to avoid the defense.
We talk about what a great athlete Diamond DeShields is. She told us she loves softball. In fact, she and Dearica Hamby played softball together.
Yeah, they did. Played on the same high school team at Norcross. But apparently Diamond was a star back then, and Dearica was not very good, from what Diamond shared with us yesterday. So the Sixth Woman of the Year has come a long way. She can't believe that Dearica has made it here, let's say that.
Yeah, she said what she remembered of her basketball-wise, she said she just wasn't very good. Yeah. And then she segued into she was bad.
Yeah, yeah.
And now
it got worse.
Yes. The longer the story went on, the worse Hamby became on the court. Good defense by Dolson, but Epiphany Prince able to score anyways. Dolson might have taken one in the chops. Hamby, being Hamby, stole it and put it in right before the end of the quarter. And right there, that shows you one reason why she was the 6th player of the year.
Tough score by Epiphany Prince, and then Dearica Hamby never gives up on a play. She's relentless, gets a steal, and how about the score momentum going Vegas' way?
The WNBA Playoffs 2019 is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. And the new toasted cheddar chalupa at Taco Bell.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, joined by Chicago head coach James Wade. Coach, just 3 combined points for Cam Page and Wilson. What did you like about how your team defended them early?
We crowded their space, and we didn't foul them for a majority of the 10 minutes, but we just got to stay with it. There's a lot of game left.
And you're a team that likes to get up and down, but you found success in the half court. Why has that been?
We just like to play basketball. As long as we're moving them, that's our main focus.
Thanks so much, Coach.
That first question by Kim about the ineffectiveness of Wilson and Cam Page has to be addressed in this game, but Chicago did do a great job of crowding them, and Vegas didn't hit enough outside shots to keep them honest.
And meanwhile, the shooting for Chicago is amazing at 63% and counting after that 3 went in.
And Las Vegas all season has been the #1 team in the league field goal percentage defense, so that is not up to par.
Yeah, just under 40%. Cambage got it taken away by Dolson. Neither Cambage nor Asia Wilson, who's on the bench, have a made field goal today.
Dolson has played really well since picking up that first foul on the defensive end, but is also perfect from the field, 4 for 4.
2 in a row from distance for Copper.
How about the play of Kalia Copper?
She only averages 7 points a game. She's got 8 already, back-to-back threes.
Take a look at the defense of Chicago and how they are playing Liz Cambage. Dolson has the size, but also the girth to handle the power of Cambage. And she's straight up, she's vertical. She's got to stay that way and not pick up any more fouls.
A combined 0 for 6 for Cambage and Wilson. Wilson still on the bench. Hamby gets it to Liz, who still can't get a field goal, but at least she has a chance at the line again.
And one thing that happens for Vegas's offense when Dearica Hamby is in the game, it's better spacing. Hamby is a 3-point threat, doesn't take it as often, but there's more spacing when she's in the game than when Wilson is in the game, and vice versa when Wilson is in with Hamby.
Asia's going to come in at the next whistle. Cambage back at the free throw line. She's now 2 out of 3, and here comes Asia in for Sugar Rogers. Dolson goes out in favor of Dew, who comes in for Chicago, playing with a couple of fouls. Gabby Williams also is in. Second-year player out of UConn, number 15 in the very bright yellow uniforms of Chicago. Liz gets them both. But still a 12-point advantage for Chicago.
This is a big lineup for Chicago and a big lineup for Vegas, with Hamby playing the 3 right now, defending Gabby Williams in at the point guard spot.
Parker with the miss. Courtney Vandersloot is getting a break on the bench. Hamby got fouled. Vandersloot in the first quarter, 5 assists. Chicago had 10 field goals, so she assisted on half of them. Gabby Williams whistled for her first. There is Courtney Vandersloot getting a much-deserved rest. Hamby doing damage off the bench.
And she's had an interesting career. Was drafted to San Antonio by Dan Hughes, was Hamby, and had an ankle injury her first year and then gave birth to her daughter Amaya her second season. So sat out and it was slow going, but she has really found a good place here in Vegas.
Lead is 10. Parker driving on Cambage, got a little crafty with the spin move.
And if there's been one weakness in the Vegas defense, is if there's a mobile big that has to play against Cambage, Cambage's footwork against the Cheyenne Parker as McBride is fouled, but it's often hard for Cambage to contain that mobility. We've seen it with Alyssa Thomas, and we see it right here with Cheyenne Parker. When you're on the move, that's tough for Cambage.
That's a really nice move for Parker, now in her 5th year out of Middle Tennessee. Quigley fouled McBride, who shoots 3 free throws. 2 fouls on Quigley, excuse me.
Shooter on shooter.
Yeah.
Usually the shooters know not to foul the jump shooter, but Quigley got caught there.
2 of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Saw him in the 3-point contest at the All-Star game this year. Kayla McBride, again, the only member of the San Antonio Stars who played in their last playoff game in 2014, who is still with Las Vegas. She got 2 out of 3. Williams draws attention, gets it to Dew. Well, this offense is clicking.
And that's what James Wade was talking to Kim about. And that second question is they have to move. And when they're on the move like that, it is difficult to guard Chicago. Nice finish by Cambage.
That is the first field goal for either Cambage or Asia Wilson. Usually they combine for over 30 points a game. Gabby Williams with the miss, nothing but black jerseys underneath. Cambage over to Plum. McBride with that quick trigger. That's another three. And a timeout taken as Vegas has cut the lead to 7.
Vegas is on a run behind the play of Kayla McBride and Elizabeth Cambage, who came into this game determined to help her team advance. Give them the finger wag. We came into this game talking about Chicago's need to defend the interior of Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson. Well, look at the crowding by Chicago, their ability to force turnovers, but then when Liz Cambage starts to move, she cannot just stand there. And Stephanie Dolson, giving her credit, has done a very good job, but when Dolson is out of the game or when Cambage starts to move, also with the Aces hitting some outside shots, that opens up space for the interior to work.
Starters back in. Vandersloot has not scored yet. Hamby hustles for another rebound. It's 11-4 Las Vegas run. And another whistle behind the play. And the foul on Vandersloot. She has 2. Kayla McBride, a little bit of daylight that Dolson closed in on, and McBride hits the deck. Another foul has been called.
It looked like that was on Quigley again.
It is, and that is 3 on Quigley. Huge for Chicago.
She has struggled with McBride, and credit Kayla McBride with her movement off the ball, but also her aggressiveness in getting to the rim. She's bigger, stronger, and has utilized that to get Allie Quigley in foul trouble.
Playoffs continue Tuesday with a doubleheader on ESPN2 at 6:30 Eastern. LA is in Connecticut. WNBA Draft Lottery will be held at halftime. Then our winner will be in Washington. Go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app for more information. But we will see you Tuesday. Remember, the semifinals are a best 3 out of 5. We are finished with these single elimination games after this one. And McBride delivers at the line. Quigley on the bench with the 3 fouls. Copper back in. And we're getting a foul called on just about every play.
There were 50 fouls called in the last regular season matchup between these teams. And Vegas is a very physical team. For some reason, these two, they like to hash it out in the physical battles with all the fouls.
Vandersloot passes up the 3 for the 2. Off the back rim, Copper going over Plum to get the board. Cambage comes away with it. 4 rebounds for Liz. That Las Vegas foul, by the way, was on Asia Wilson, still looking for her first field goal, and she had to work hard, but got it. Asia fired up. We saw both of her parents are here today. Sloot. Now Vegas down by as many as 14. Energized by the crowd. Cambage, yes! An 11-0 Aces run. The Shields. Chicago has gone ice cold after a blazing start. Cambage for the lead, just a little bit too strong. And now Chicago looking to run as always. Vandersloot left it short, then got blocked by Wilson. Height advantage for Hamby as Dolson comes over with the double, but she scored anyway.
That's the luxury of the big lineup for Vegas. Dearica Hamby is a natural 4, plays some 3, and the Shields can't handle all that power on the block.
Vegas erasing a 14-point lead. And now a foul has been called on Dolson. How quickly things have changed.
Well, the last couple of minutes have been dominated by the inside play of A'ja Wilson and Liz Cambage. Stu has some foul trouble. Not a lot she can do in that situation. And then again, Cambage with the size advantage. Even though the double team ensues, she is able to power over it.
James Wade has not called the timeout as the run is now 13-0 in favor of Vegas. Chicago has missed 8 straight shots. Hamby guarded by DeShields, gives it up on the double. Wilson left open, that's one of her spots. $15-0 run.
Chicago is daring Vegas's post to make good decisions, and they are. What a day for Copper. Kalia Copper is so quick and slippery off the bounce. We've seen her get to the rim, but we've also seen her hit some outside shots. So you got to close out on her because she's hit a couple from out there and nobody home on that drive. And she's just too quick.
McBride's first foul. Copper has hit all 4 of her shots from the floor. She has 11 points. 4 over her season average. Hamby with the answer.
It's hard to figure out how to match up with Hamby at the 3 spot. And James Wade has gone with Diamond DeShields, but she hasn't had much of an answer. But the moves by the 6th woman of the year, pretty nice too, Pam.
In her 5th year out of Wake Forest.
And I'd love to see that Dolson foul. We were going to a package, but she got called for that second foul, which is big in terms of the post defense for Chicago and what they can do and how they can play.
Hamby into double figures. Las Vegas has shot 18 free throws in this first half. That again is one of their strengths, leading the league in that department. McBride to A'ja, back to K-Mac. Cambage could not get the rebound. Eddie Lou Samuelson is in for Chicago. Rookie out of UConn, averaging less than 8 minutes per game. Vandersloot with the steal and the bucket. That is the first basket for Courtney.
And despite that run by Vegas, Chicago only down 1.
What a game. Vegas coming from 14 down, up 1 as we take a timeout.
Coming up, the WNBA halftime report presented by State Farm, joined in studio by Jasmine Thomas of the Connecticut Sun as Connecticut now prepares for the Sparks in Tuesday's semifinal after their win earlier today over Seattle. We saw Chicago, though, Katie, come out firing, shooting over 62% in that first quarter. But what a rally that Las Vegas has been able to orchestrate.
They did. Like you said, Chicago came out and rallied, but then Las Vegas made that lineup change. They went to that bigger lineup. Hamby's coming in there, making defensive nightmares for Chicago. So look for Chicago to try to figure out how to counter and balance that.
Las Vegas was down by 14 at one point in this first half, a 15-0 run. We'll see you at the break. Back to Pam in La China.
All right, thanks to the 3 of you. And look who's in the building. Only the MVP of the NBA last year, James Harden.
Taking in some hoops. He knows it's go time for the WNBA. Of course he'd want to be in the building.
Katie, Brick, and Jasmine no doubt going to talk about this quarter for Chicago. They shot 63% in the first quarter, only 35% so far in this one. Diamond DeShields has really struggled. Bill Lambier wearing a mic for us this afternoon.
Right, they're running down our throats. 29 points is way too many. Way too many, all right? They're making shots. Hang in there. It's a long game. It's a long game.
Bill making reference to that 29-point first quarter by Chicago and only 15 points in this second. And Vegas is the type of team that does have to settle in defensively. We've seen their opponent have some big first quarters, but when they kind of get a hang of what you're trying to do and when they can score and get back in defensive transition, especially against Chicago, they've been more effective.
Diamond DeShields just 1 of 7 from the floor. Hits the free throws. Chicago 10 of 10 from the line. That's a good look. Erica Hamby absolutely giving them a shot in the arm since she came into this game.
The double team was effective early, but has not been as much against the post play. Good decision here. If you're going to go, you got to go and take away Hamby's vision. That doesn't happen, and a good find and good move by Cambage.
We'll give Hamby the assist. Now the officials not quite sure what they are talking about as they get together mid-court. Erica Hamby again right before the game was presented with the WNBA 6th Woman of the Year award for her great play. Her daughter Amaya in the building as usual, who would win the Cute Award if the WNBA had one. There's De'Erica again, just a terrific story of perseverance. Hamby into double figures in scoring. That is Eric Bruton and Jeff Wooten over, trying to get things straightened out. Tiara Cruz is over here now explaining what's going on.
So we're being told by Tiara Cruz that within the correctable error window, the wrong shooter shot free throws for Chicago. The foul was called on the putback by Indoor, and it should not have been Diamond DeShields shooting the free throw. So because they're still in the correctable time frame, they're going to go back, meaning taking away that basket, and now Indoor, the correct shooter, is going to shoot the 2 free throws. So they will take away that basket that Liz Cambage scored off of the pass by De'Erica Hamby and rewind all the way back to the free throw situation and put the right shooter on the line, who was Due. I said her last name wrong.
Not DeShields.
It was Due.
Pam. Due did not shoot the free throws. It was DeShields who got them both.
And it should not have been. They called the foul, not on that layup attempt by DeShields in the fast break. They called it on the putback. So here, we thought the foul was called on that take by DeShields, but it was actually called right there. And so because they are within the correctable window, if there's an error, there is a time frame with which officials can go back and correct. And that's what they did. And we're having another conversation.
So McBride called for the reach-in foul.
And that correctable error time is within a 24-second time frame. So this is called running it back, Pam.
Yeah, a little rewind, and the officials had to make sure the clock was where it should be as well. 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Due, 72% free throw shooter in the starting lineup since Chantel Lavender broke her foot against Las Vegas.
And she's been great for them in the lineup and the way she is both defended but also rebound the basketball. There's Lavender there on your screen.
Well, she was averaging 10 points and 7 rebounds when she got hurt. Cambage can't hit the layup on a nice feed by Plum.
And you got to finish there if you're Cambage. Get all the way to the rim.
Tied up as we approach 2 minutes to go in the half. Allie Quigley on the bench with 3 fouls for Chicago. Hamby waits for reinforcements. It got through Cambage, but ended up with Asia, who couldn't handle it. Copper. What a first half for Kalia Copper. 13 points. Doubling her season average. Plum. unable to hit it.
That was a tough look by Plum. I just think as much as you can, you got to use this big lineup offensively. You got to get the ball in the hands of Wilson, Cambage, get them going, De'Erica Hamby.
DeShields challenges down the lane.
That's what she's got to do. I mean, that's her advantage when Vegas has the big lineup in. It's space the floor and use your quickness to go around Hamby.
Parker forces a turnover. Cambage looking for the foul. Copper with one of her rare misses, but a second opportunity. DeShields, in and out.
Vegas has to be willing to move the ball around to get it inside. It's not always going to be there on the first pass.
Wilson working against Dew, gets stuffed. Terrific defense on Asia Wilson. And then a pass from Sloot into Dew. It's a 9-0 Chicago run. They blew a 14-point lead, and now they're back on top. Timeout, Bill Lambier. Great answer for the Sky.
We were wondering if the interior defense of Chicago would be able to stand up to the front course of Vegas. Not only are they doing that, they're scoring too, Pam. Welcome back to Vegas, where Chicago has a lead on the Aces. And how about the play of Kalia Copper? We hadn't talked about her coming into the game, but that's what the playoffs are about. Who's going to step up? And she has knocked down some long balls. She has ran in transition and used her quickness to get to the rim. With Allie Quigley on the bench in foul trouble, Copper has stepped in and done a fantastic job in this first half.
Just 3 off her season high. She had 16 in a game against Dallas during the regular season. What a job for Copper, who again was picked up in the Elena Deladon trade along with Stephanie Dolson, and Chicago's defense has become suffocating. Vegas, now, in their last 7 possessions, they've come up empty.
There was a stretch where Vegas was passing the ball well out of the double team, but they have not performed well against Chicago's interior defense since.
See what Chicago does after this timeout. We'll see the best player on the best team coming up in the nightcap of our doubleheader, the semifinals Tuesday on ESPN2 after Connecticut plays LA. That's at 6:30 and 8:30 Eastern time, respectively, Tuesday on ESPN2. Here we go. Shot clock is off for Chicago. Quigley, put into the game, had been sitting on the bench for an extended period with 3 personal fouls. But Las Vegas scoreless for the last 3.5 minutes of that second quarter. Chicago finished on a 9-0 run and take a 6-point lead into the locker room. The winner will play at Washington on Tuesday night in the best-of-5 semifinals. Kalia Copper, what a first half.
Or can be as dominant as Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson. You will take 4 for 13 between the two of them in the first half.
And Asia Wilson just the 2 field goals. She has 3 turnovers, which is never good when you have more turns than field goals made. Liz Cambage and company went on a 15-0 run in the mid-second quarter to get the lead back after trailing by 14, but it was a 9-0 Chicago run to finish the half that puts us where we are. Dew with the miss. Cambage gets the first rebound. Elsie Plum starting the second half, came off the bench to begin the game, and right away Vegas gives it back. Diamond DeShields running unimpeded, gets the bucket. She leads the WNBA in fast break points. Playing the Thomas and Mack Center because the Mandalay Bay Event Center is occupied. We're on the campus of UNLV, not far from the Strip. Dew delivers.
Great start for Chicago. And on the other end, they doubled Liz Cambage, and the Aces were not able to take advantage of that.
Emma Young kicks it out to Plum. When she gets hot, she can really get rolling. That ends at 13-0 sky run.
And the fact that she's in the starting lineup in the second half says that Bill Lambier is trying to create some spacing. Jackie Young doesn't really shoot the ball that much, and definitely not from three-point range consistently.
Jackie Young did not take a shot at all in the first half. Just one free throw, no field goal attempts. So the rookie from Notre Dame comes off the bench in this half. Cam Beige with the bucket. It's actually the Chicago front court that has been doing the damage. The Aces with the stars up there. Dolson misses.
And Vegas has been willing to give the bigs for Chicago that shot. They are more worried about Courtney Vandersloot getting into the paint.
Plum can't hit. And then they're going to get Plum with a foul reaching in on the other end.
Pam, I talked to Las Vegas assistant Kelly Raymond coming at a halftime. A few focuses for them. You already mentioned the turnovers. They had 9 as a team. Also their defensive execution and just making shots. She said they've missed a lot of bunnies underneath. And one of Bill Lambier's messages to his team yesterday was that mistakes are magnified in the playoffs. So we are seeing the effect of those turnovers early. We'll see if they can clean it up here, Pam.
And they just didn't. As you were giving your report, Kim, they threw it away again. So Sugar Rogers comes in for Kayla McBride. Bill Lambier trying to find the correct combination.
And what happens when you miss those bunnies and the easy baskets is Chicago makes you pay, because they come at you full force in that transition on offense.
Well, they are relentless. Wilson almost forced a turnover. Vandersloot picked up the loose ball. It was an easy one for Dew. Chicago up 7. The winner plays Washington. Game 1 of the best of 5 semis is Tuesday in our nation's capital. Wilson and Dew get tangled up, and Dew was whistled for her 3rd foul.
But I thought Dew did an excellent job staying out of foul trouble down the stretch of the first half, because she had those first couple of fouls early, and she is handling a lot on the interior defensively in terms of responsibility.
10 points and 6 rebounds in the first half for the 4th-year pro from Senegal. Plum aggressive on the offensive end. She's got 5 already in this quarter. Courtney Vandersloot breaks a string in which Chicago had missed 12 straight three-pointers after starting off hitting 4 of their first 6. Wilson off the mark, and only yellow jerseys underneath. Courtney Vandersloot leading the league again in assists. Dolson left open. He's got that nice little set shot.
And that's where Courtney Vandersloot is brilliant. All of the crowding, all of the defensive attention. She leaves the floor, but makes an excellent bounce pass for the open shot. Sloot, the maestro of the offense, fumbles it. Bigger defenders, nice bounce pass, no problem.
Make them make shots. Make them make shots. All right? It's the paint that's killing us. We gave up 14 points in the paint. We got to go. Just go. That's what messes them up. Hey, I need you to do something for me. Stop going away from the shot. Go straight up at the best. That's the only thing. And raise and don't think about it.
You are listening to the voice of the WNBA Coach of the Year, James Wade, the rookie coach in his first season at Chicago, and he was saying, make them make shots. They have been brilliant in crowding the paint. He came into this game saying, don't give their post deep position, no baseline, and always touching, and they've done those 3 things defensively, and that's why they've had success against Vegas post.
Wilson and Cambasia combined 5 for 15 from the floor. Chicago on a 20-7 run. They've scored 7 points in 7 minutes. Quigley in and out. Cambage getting the rebound.
And one thing James Wade said he wanted to do in terms of his coaching style and how he handles this team is have direct and blunt communication. He is very honest with his team, and he had to do that in particular on the defensive end because they were not good there last year.
Cambage fouled and makes the basket for Vegas.
Well, Pam and LaChina, in talking to the Chicago players yesterday, they raved about how first-year coach James Wade has had a championship mindset. since day one. And that was apparent yesterday watching their practice. We're seeing the same intensity that they have right now that we saw in practice yesterday. They brought in a male practice squad. I don't know if I've seen anybody go as hard as they did the day before a playoff game. They were 100% up and down, 5-on-5. He had them running for missed free throws, so he has certainly brought this intensity to the team from his first day on the job.
I mean, it was so fun, Kim, to watch them. And we'll find out in the fourth quarter if going hard was okay yesterday for a rookie coach, you know, with his first playoff practice the day before a game. But they were a lot of fun to watch.
Kelsey Plum starting the second half. And she has delivered.
It might be their second. They may have practiced that hard before Phoenix. We'll have to ask the other crew.
Dolson got it taken away by Cambage. Plum, 8 points in this quarter, gets it over to McBride, who's fouled and hits. Vegas not done yet.
A very important aspect of Vegas's defense is them hitting shots and getting back. And they like to push the ball. Kelsey Plum with a good find here. And I like that call. I didn't think the defense got there and got set. I know Chicago wasn't happy with it, but they're on the move and on the run. And that's important for Vegas, just as important it is for Chicago.
9-0 Vegas run since the last time out. Makes it a 1-point ball game. Get you caught up on the fouls. Stu Dew now has 4, and that was the third on Vandersloot. Cambage stuffed DeShields. Plum with the miss, but what a tip by Cambage. Liz able to get a hand on it, and Vegas is back on top.
Vegas has all of the energy and all the momentum. Plum takes the shot, but skying in like Superwoman is Cambage. I don't know how she found an angle on that. Even a flick of the wrist on that putback.
Kelsey Plum committed a foul for Vegas, hence the stoppage. But the fans re-energized here in Vegas. A game of runs. Vandersloot tries to thread the needle. Parker blocked by Cambage. McBride, Cambage. Taken away by who else? Kalia Copper, who had a spectacular first half with 13 points, gets that going. As McBride fouls DeShields. End-to-end action in Vegas.
And it's getting physical. I don't mind McBride saying, I am not giving up a layup to Diamond DeShields here. No way.
That is the third foul on McBride. And in case you missed at the top of the show, the last time these two teams met in Chicago, August 18th, there were some extracurricular, shall we say, physical activity, particularly between Cheyenne Parker and Liz Cambage. Statements going back and forth, mostly on social media. So these two teams, they don't really like each other. DeShields gets 1 out of 2. That ends an 11-0 Aces run. And quiets this crowd, we're sure momentarily. Really a terrific crowd. This is not their regular building, but they have shown up to cheer for their Aces in Vegas's first playoff game. DeShields, 1-on-2, takes it anyway, and draws another foul.
And you see what DeShields brings. How quickly she transitions from the defense to the offensive end of the floor. I mean, she's gone. And then she can do this. I mean, she just takes off, and it's impossible to get in front of her to play legal defense. All you can do is try to protect yourself as best you can, and in Vegas's case, fouling her and getting her to the free throw line.
4 on McBride, who sits down right now. And we talked to Diamond DeShields yesterday, and she was a very good college player, both at North Carolina and in Tennessee, but really blossoming now at the pro. She talked about it being less structured. You just go out, and she's able to use her athleticism and take it to a different level.
Yeah, you always got the feeling that Diamond DeShields is just her own player, her own person. And in a pro system, you don't have to go eat with your team if you don't want to. You get your own workouts in. It's very different from college, and she's thrived being able to balance the team, but also her individuality at the same time.
Breakout year, and this is her second season. Played overseas before coming to the WNBA.
And Bill sticking with the big lineup as he should, because Vegas made that run since the timeout when De'Erica Hamby was inserted into the lineup. And there's just something that happens to Vegas when she's on the floor.
Carolyn Swords also in, just gave it over to Hamby. With a rebound by Dew, who continues to play with 4 personal fouls. DeShields beats everybody down court again. Vandersloot.
Copper is battling.
Well, Kalia Copper only, well, she's listed at 6'1", and she's able to just go in there and got a hand on it. Ball does go to Vegas.
No one's been able to match her energy in this game. I mean, she's going for everything, and she's giving up sides in this situation, but she's asserting herself. Out of Rutgers, C. Vivian Stringer product, you expect nothing less than that.
Inside 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Plum over to Swords, and that's a foul on Parker with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Carolyn Swords in her 8th year out of Boston College. Familiar with Bill Laimbeer, played for him when he was the head coach at New York. And now here in Vegas. After Sunday Night Baseball, we'll have SportsCenter with Kevin Connors and Michael Eaves breaking down the impact Antonio Brown had in the game against the Dolphins. Drew Brees and the Saints, how do they respond with the championship rematch with the Rams, and also the Raiders and Chiefs? Turning point for Patrick Mahomes. SportsCenter after Dodgers Mets on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Well, I just want to say, Pam, that Kelsey Plum has had a very solid game. He's accepted this role down the stretch of the regular season, coming off of the bench. And if all defensive team had an effort team, like a third team, she has improved vastly in her effort on the defensive end. And she's making fairly good decisions in this game for the most part.
Plum started this half after coming off the bench to begin the game. She has 8 points in the third quarter. And now another whistle. This goes against Vegas. And Sugar Rogers is called for a play off the ball. Liz Cambage on the bench right now. Liz has 14 points and 12 rebounds, so another double-double for the Aussie. Vandersloot, eyes up, finds DeShields, who gets the bottom of the net with the 3. Diamond with a good third quarter. Sugar to Plum. Asia steps back from Parker. Her first basket of the second half. That's the Chicago lead to 2. A tie-up with Rogers and DeShields.
Courtney Vandersloot with another big night on the assists, 10, including this one to Diamond DeShields. She is the head of the snake. I mean, she is what makes this Chicago offense work. And I don't think she gets enough credit for how much she's improved in her strength and her toughness in her time in the WNBA.
Nikki Teasley, the last WNBA player to have back-to-back games with double-digit assists. And Sugar Rogers trying to get a little bit too cute, perhaps, with the dribble, lost it out of bounds.
And Diamond made sure she heard about it. She gave her a little clap up.
Yeah, she was very happy with the way Rogers mishandled the basketball. Very spirited between these two teams. Semifinal berth on the line against Washington. Hamby doing what Hamby does, getting the rebound. And then the foul on Parker. Rather silly at midcourt. That's 3 on Cheyenne. That is going to send Wnba to the free throw line. Playoffs continue Tuesday with a semifinal doubleheader on ESPN2. 6:30 Eastern, it's Los Angeles at Connecticut. The WNBA Draft Lottery will be held at halftime with that game. And then the winner of this game is in Washington. More on these games, go to WNBA.com, visit the WNBA app.
You know, we talked about that matchup earlier on. I stayed focused on the guards, which, you know, is not like me, Pam, but when you look at the post play, I know, let's go back to the post play. You know, at times this year, I've said Connecticut has one of the best defensive front courts in Alyssa Thomas and Jonquel Jones. I'm interested to see how they line up next to Parker and Wnba, because that's a handful. And they've got to beat a little bit of experience, but I think Connecticut is ready to step up to the plate.
Inside a minute to go. Wilson driving, scoring, fouled.
You can't give her baseline, and you can't give her that left hand. That's where she wants to go. James Wade said no baseline, but with that kind of power behind it, it's hard to stop Wilson. And in particular, with the foul trouble that Dew is already in, that is her 5th.
So Dew goes to the bench with the 5 personal fouls. You get 6 in this league. Asia rolls it in.
And a smart call. Why not go after Dew? But she's been effective on both ends. And now that she's out of the game, Parker's going to have to come up big along with Dolson.
Vegas in this back and forth game, they lead now by 1. And De'Erica Hamby with the kick on that. Looking like Lionel Messi with the...
Yeah, you would think she had a little soccer background. Yeah. She actually was a very good softball player.
Yes.
And did not start playing basketball until way late in her high school.
That's right. She was the second baseman when Diamond was the shortstop. Diamond said not a lot of balls got through that middle infield.
Can you imagine?
Oh, Kalia Copper. What a game. She has tied her season high now with 16 points, and Chicago bounces back on top. Wnba to Liz for 3. Got it! Liz Cambage, 2 for 12 from 3 during the regular season, knocked that one down. Liz has 10 in this quarter. Diamond answers. Here come the stars, LaChina. Diamond's got 10 in this quarter. Plum! What a finish! Kelsey Plum with James Harden looking on. Kelsey has 11 points in this quarter. We've had 12 lead changes, 6 ties, and a lot of clutch threes. One-point ball game. Kelsey Plum finishing off the 3rd quarter in style with time expiring, knocking down the 3. James Harden among those appreciating the work. Here's Bill Lambier now with Kim Adams.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, joined by Aces head coach Bill Lambier. Coach, what did your team start doing better midway through that quarter to shift the momentum back?
Energy. We came out of the locker room with no energy. They jumped us, and I don't understand it, but we got it back.
What do you need to execute well defensively in this final quarter?
We got to keep Slew under control. She's finding open shooters. We got to stop that.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Courtney Vandersloot with 12 assists so far. Again, in this game, we've had 12 lead changes and 6 ties. Pam Ward along with LaChina Robinson. You just heard from Kim Adams. The winner goes to Washington, and what a game this has been.
Yeah, it's been excellent. And you see Courtney Vandersloot on your screen. That's a concern for Bill Lambier. It's, do you force her to shoot it or let her get an easy pass for an open shot?
Wow, Cambage and Dolson locking elbows on that last move. And they get Cambage for her 2nd personal foul.
Cambage loves the physical play and is inviting it here with Dolson. But she's leading with that elbow, and I understand. It looked intentional the way she led with that elbow on the front. I get that call.
Leah Copper has had a tremendous game off the bench, matching her season high with 16 points for Chicago. Dolson inside, feathers in the shot. Chicago feasting on Vegas turnovers with 22 points off of the giveaways, including that last bucket by Dolson.
Kelsey Plum hit that momentum shot at the end of the third, and I just want to go back to her because I feel like there hasn't been as much pressure on anyone really in this league as there has been on Kelsey Plum since she got picked #1. And she's been relentless about putting in work on both ends of the floor, and she and Bill Lambier have had their moments because there's been some games where she has not made good decisions down the stretch and really run this team. But in this playoff game, she has impressed me with her poise. Only one turnover.
We have not seen Jackie Young, who started the game. Plum going the third quarter with Young on the bench. Parker with the challenge and is able somehow to get it away from Cambage. And this one thing with this Vegas team, Bill Lambier has said, we do not have a point guard. McBride with the McBucket. So Plum and Young have really been the point guards, but not a true point guard on this team.
And that's tough when you have two post players that need the ball and need it a lot, need touches. You got to have guards that can get it there, but also guards that can space the floor for them to get it.
Abby Williams, only the second time we've seen her on the floor this afternoon, gets the basket. Chicago up 3. Parker can't chase it down. Diamond DeShields comes in for Copper. DeShields had 10 points in that third quarter. The two teams combined for 55 points in the third quarter. The crowd kind of catching their collective breath. There's a lot of screaming going on.
A lot of action.
Plum gets it in. Cambage chases. Kelsey Plum guarded by Allie Quigley. Back to Cambage off the switch, and then Cambage with the nifty pass to Hamby. Pretty ball movement by the Aces, cuts the lead to 1. The Shields, blocked by Liz. Hamby gives it to the trailer Wilson.
I thought Hamby was going to take Dolson to the rim. Why not? That's a matchup advantage.
Cambage and Parker underneath.
Diamond DeShields is an elite athlete, but she was met by the length of Liz Cambage right at the rim. And then going the other way, Cambage is really showing more energy, making better decisions in that 2 feet deep in the paint. That is what James Wade wanted to take away from the Aces, and that's what Cambage got on this last possession.
Cambage at 6'8". Sydney Colson in for Plum, who gets a well-deserved hand from this crowd. No coach continuing to keep Jackie Young on the bench. Liz gets them both. She's 6 for 7 from the line, and we're tied up. And now Vegas up by 1 after that last free throw. Diamond short and goes in.
Boy.
She wanted the foul.
Big outside shots.
That was a 2 for Diamond, coming off 25 points against Phoenix. Now, if I'm Cambage, I can see why she was upset. There was contact there from Gabby Williams on the first shot attempt. No foul was called. Parker left all by her lonesome.
And probably not the highest percentage shot you can get there, even though she is capable of hitting that.
Cambage cleans up. Quigley has had to work for every inch of real estate on the court. That's her first basket of the second half. Allie, the leading scorer on this team, only has 6, 2 of 9 from the floor. Cambage working hard on the other end.
Yeah, she really is. And we talk about how to officiate players like Cambage. She took some contact on this and continued to play through it. And that's important for her. She can't let the emotions of the game get her to the point where she's not effective. And she was on the glass and continued to play through some of that.
Sydney Colson. Parker doubled quickly as Asia Wilson came over to help Cambage. Dolson just saved it. Shot clock into single digits. Parker almost lost it. Cambage gets another block. Liz has 3. Hamby.
Boy, Hamby has been heavy on a couple of those layups.
Timeout. Chicago up 1 in this elimination game. We invite you to check out ESPN's women's basketball podcast, Around the Rim, with our own LaChina Robinson. New episodes weekly on the ESPN app or Apple Podcast, taking a look at the playoffs, which have been exciting so far.
Yes, they have. And Devereaux Peters has been all about the Las Vegas Aces, so wherever she is, she was on the podcast, our co-host. She's sweating bullets right now. I think she's probably a little concerned.
Double dribble called to give the ball back over. Vegas down by 1. Pam Ward, LaChina Robinson, and Kim Adams joining you from Las Vegas. The winner gets Washington, the #1 seed. Best of 5 semi start there on Tuesday. And another foul called this time on Chicago. Cheyenne Parker now has 5, so foul trouble for the Sky. Parker with 5. Stu Dew has 5 as well.
And if you're going to get a foul, if you're Chicago's front court, let it not be on a screen. SLU will find a way to use you. Just sit there.
Asia Wilson couldn't believe how wide open she was, and now they get another foul on Chicago for holding Cambage. Dolson's 3rd.
Dolson and Cambage are jockeying for position every time down the floor.
Dew comes back in with the 5 personals for Chicago. Parker goes out, Dew guarding Asia Wilson. Asia with 11, Cambage 21 points, 14 rebounds. Working on Dolson, draws the double. And another foul on Chicago. That's 4 on Dolson.
Here comes the double. And they absolutely, Dolson made contact with the arms of Liz Cambage. You have to call that right there.
So Vegas in the bonus for the last 5 minutes plus of this game. The Aces have not been called for a foul in this quarter. And another one, this one on Quigley. 4 on Allie.
And this is the way Vegas wants to play. They want to be the more physical team. And right now they've got Chicago on their heels. That fake got Quigley off balance, and McBride took advantage of it.
That is the 28th free throw shot by Vegas in this game. They average just under 22 during the regular season, which was tops in the league, and they've gone past that this afternoon.
With 5 minutes left in this game, Chicago has to decide that they're not going to let foul calls get them off tilt emotionally. Vegas can play that way. Chicago's got to stick to their game and their temperament.
And every foul will put Vegas on the line. Quigley quickly with the miss. Hamby over to Plum, who's been great in the second half. They go right back to Liz. Rebounds her own miss and puts it in. Dolson over to Vandersloot. Three-pointer missed by DeShields, who tried to save it in, but the ball was already out of bounds to the Aces.
Liz Cambage has been asserting herself on both ends of the floor in the second half of this game with block shots. Quick second jump here and finding the angle on what looked like an impossible shot under the rim.
Ball tipped off Wilson. Chicago gets it with 4 minutes exactly left to go in the fourth quarter. Vandersloot got it blocked down. Turnover. Cambage got two hands on it. Hamby working against DeShields. Erica Hamby, 6 straight points for the Aces.
And that is exactly how the Aces are playing Sloot. As they're going to force her to be a passer and try to take away those angles. Excuse me, try to force her to be a shooter and take away her passing angles, and that worked.
Foul on Plum, a non-shooting foul, the first of the quarter for Vegas. Dolson, who has always been a really good passer, found DeShields streaking to the hoop. McBride, a little bit too strong. Vandersloot able to sneak in to get the rebound.
And with the fouls being called the way they are, I'm surprised that Vegas didn't work to get the ball inside.
Parker playing with 5 fouls. Dolson posting up hard against Hamby. Parker in and out on the 3.
And they were baiting her.
She took the bait and missed it. She's missed a couple of threes here in this half. Plum to Asia. Quigley forced the turnover. Vandersloot with the basket. Makes it a 1-point ball game again, and Bill Lambier takes a timeout for Vegas. 2:12 left to go in Las Vegas.
The WNBA Playoffs 2019 is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. And the new toasted cheddar chalupa at Taco Bell.
Don't miss your chance to catch your favorite players, teams, and the continuing action of the WNBA playoffs in person. Get your ticket today at WNBA.com/tickets. Connecticut, Washington will host Tuesday and Thursday. LA will be in Connecticut, so those 3 cities, go and get your tickets. Who will be the 4th semifinalist? McBride, in and out. It was halfway down, and now Chicago, with less than 2 minutes left to go, can take the lead. Vandersloot picks up her dribble.
They've defended Sloot well the last few possessions.
Shot clock. Mighty skinny Cambage. A couple of blocks from Vegas. Shot clock expires.
Liz Cambage's defense has been a difference maker in this second half. And Vegas as a team has improved so much defensively from last year. And a lot of it has to do with 6'8".
5 blocks now for Liz Cambage. They lead the league in field goal percentage defense, improving by 5 percentage points from last season. Cambage coming over in the offseason and boy, making a difference on both ends here.
Yeah, officials are taking a look to see who this was off on. And good catch-up D there by Liz Cambage. and then gets another block on Dolson. It's hard to tell because Asia Wilson got involved towards the end, but Dolson's hand seemed to be the last one that may have made contact with the basketball. It's just hard to tell there.
Shot clock also could be a factor. I believe the call on the floor was that it was Las Vegas basketball.
I don't know.
But we're going to get that clarified as Eric Bruton goes over and looks at the monitor with Tara Cruz.
Right there, it's hard to tell. Looked like Dolson's hand may have been the last to have contact there.
Las Vegas ball.
Yeah, we're sure. We believe that was the call initially. And clearly, officials didn't see enough on the replays to overturn that.
All right, so Las Vegas gets the ball back, up by a point. Hamby, 6th Woman of the Year in this league. Wilson inside to Cambage. Rebound taken down by DeShields.
Surprised that Asia Wilson passed up looking at the basket.
She's not taking a shot in this quarter. Quigley with the miss. And now with a minute to go, Plum sets up the offense. Dew playing with 5 fouls, defending Wilson on the perimeter. Cambage, turnaround, good defense by Dolson. And now the third opportunity for Chicago.
It took a long time for Vegas to get into their offense and figure out what they wanted to do.
Dolson to Dew. She hits a 3! A Stu Dew, who only hit 14 threes all season, gives him a 2-point lead, a 7-0 Chicago run. What a shot.
Vegas was loaded up on ball side because they're worried about the passing of Courtney Vandersloot, but it's Stephanie Dolson that makes a brilliant find from the middle of the floor. She might have gotten away with a walk there, but Dew hits a huge one.
One of the least likely shooters. We do want to mention, too, that whoever wins this game goes to Washington, and they're going to go on a charter flight. That is something the commissioner announced. The league will pay for the charter flight for the first time ever. Boy, look at Vandersloot. Everybody all fired up. They go, we need one stop to get on that charter flight to Washington. That was the 19th lead change of the game, 7 of them in this quarter alone. With the timeout, Vegas advances it. Just 1/10 of a second difference between the game and shot clock. Hamby, Cambage, Plum, Wilson, McBride on the floor. Plum, good defense by Vandersloot. Wilson lost it out of bounds. It's Chicago's basketball with the shot clock off.
And that's a couple of possessions for Las Vegas where Asia Wilson had the ball in her hands. She didn't shoot the free throw jumper the last time, but right here she's wide open. And great play by Courtney Vandersloot.
Yep, it was Sloot. Give credit to Sloot, who got a hand on the ball, and then it went off of Wilson's quad. Courtney's a little fired up.
She is. And on the replay, Duke may have gotten Wilson a little on that arm, but just has not been in a rhythm. Pam, you mentioned she hadn't taken any shots the entire fourth quarter. And that's been a challenge for Vegas this season, is how to maximize both Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson on the floor at the same time. How about the play of Chicago?
Tremendous finish to this quarter. DeShields leading with 23 points. Cambage 23 points and 17 rebounds, 5 blocks. A great game for Cambage, who is not on the floor right now. But then as DeShields inbounds it. Interesting decision not to have Liz, to me anyway.
We're going smaller so that you can switch defensively, a little quicker, more mobile.
Vegas has not scored in over 3 minutes. They led this game 90-85. With 3.5 minutes left, they have fouls to give here. So the next foul will put the Sky on the line. They did have one to give. DeShields inbounds, Colson guards it with 13.5 seconds left. Vandersloot looks at the clock, daring them to foul her. That's a dangerous pass. Hamby shot it when she didn't need to, and it went in. De'Erica Hamby with about 6.5 seconds left threw up a prayer, and it went in. Vegas back on top.
What a defensive play here by Hamby. Chicago was arguing that Hamby may have gone out of bounds. She had zero clock awareness here. Heaves it up.
That's not our review. We're not doing that. I'll be right back. Hold on.
So Courtney Vandersloot, for some reason, dribbled backwards, got into a little bit of trouble, and De'Erica Hamby threw up the shot. And right now, we're getting a clarification as to what they looked at. All right, so no review. Vandersloot got into trouble, and you're right, Hamby must have thought time was running out. I think she's as surprised as anybody in the building that that went in.
She had no idea how much time was left on the clock. And she misses that, and that's the worst shot of the game. But she made it on a heave. Unbelievable.
And rather fitting, and one of the most entertaining games, certainly of this season, in the WNBA. 4.8 seconds left to go. De'Erica Hamby, before the game, presented with the 6th Player of the Year award in this league.
And James Wade did call that timeout. He has an option to advance the ball. Smart for Chicago to get into the backcourt to waste some time, but Sydney Colson comes in right there towards the end, and Hamby just makes back-to-back brilliant plays.
Liz Cambage still on the bench. Tamara Young, good defender, is in. Courtney Vandersloot inbounds with 5 seconds left. Here's Diamond. Looks like the ball is in her hands for the win. The shot is off, and Las Vegas survives with an improbable shot by De'Erica Hamby. Never has a lack of clock awareness paid off so well. The Aces, in their very first playoff game, win it and will play in Washington Tuesday night.
On the day that De'Erica Hamby is named 6th Woman of the Year of the WNBA, she makes the biggest play of the Aces season and heaving up the shot, and then contests that last look by Dew. Wide open. Dew had just hit a 3 from that same spot. But right here, Hamby cheats up. She sees the pass. It had some air under it. No clock awareness, Pam. That's just an unbelievable shot. That's an unbelievable shot with no one in the gym by yourself. But to advance to the semifinals in the WNBA playoffs, De'Erica Hamby is a hero.
What a game. What a finish. All the credit in the world of this Chicago team. Last year, they only won 13 games. They went to the playoffs for the first time since 2013. And it took a prayer of a shot by Hamby to eliminate Chicago. Vegas moves on to Washington. DC took 2 out of 3 during that regular season series. But what a game with China Robinson.
These two teams played their hearts out. And you have to give so much respect to Chicago, what they did this year, and the game they played today on the road. Everyone picked this Vegas team to win